Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is KPZ, you're here on the home of the slightly above average ship review. Today we got a match in the Tier 7 Japanese tech tree battleship Amagi. It's actually a Battlecruiser. We're here on Riposte, and I am top tier in the Amagi today. Alright, Amagi class Battlecruiser set, a series of 4 Battlecruisers planned for the Imperial Japanese Navy in the early 1920s. Of a big problem from a technological standpoint of a 1920 ship being placed this highly in the game. Anyway, lengthened version of the Tosa class battleship, which were dreadnoughts ordered for the IJN in the early 1920s. Tosas are just larger Nagato class battleships, if anyone is really wondering. All right, we're moving out here in this domination match toward Alpha. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. 16.1-inch guns, top speed of 30 knots. Limitations imposed by the Washington Naval Treaty prevented the class from being completed as designed. I want to say Amagi was supposed to be converted. Earthquake damaged the hull of the Amagi so extensively it was scrapped. Well, that is clearly the most odd way to go out. Destruction by earthquake. Really quickly over on WoW's builds, the damage record 309,770. That is in no danger here today. The base XP record 4,341. Also in no danger here today. The Sigma of the Amagi is 1.9. So that's pretty good Sigma. All right, poking our nose out here. What do we see? Well, we see some ships. I guess I keep talking about stats here. Fires per minute, 1.94. Overmatch the armor piercing, 29 millimeters. Arming threshold, 68 millimeters. Looking at the stats, Amagi 62,800 hit points. That's 24th out of 29 ships at the tier. Firing range, Amagi 17.2, tied for 12th with Alabama and Georgia. Armor piercing DPM, Amagi number 6, 242,000, tied with the Key. Rudder shift, 5th worst at the tier, tied with the Key at 18.1. Sea detectability, the very worst ship in the game at this tier, 15.6 kilometers. All right, we haven't shot yet, so great timing on my part. I think I turned around and ran away because I didn't like what I saw over there. The Charlie Cap turned red. There's no spotting, of course. So I turned tail and beat. Here's my first salvo. I think that's an Abruzzi. And as you can see, all the shell grouping and dispersion can't help a poorly aimed shot. So that's a whiff. We are doing a full dispersion build. I do have Takeo Takagi. I do have the spotter plane. I think we're going to try a couple more turrets here at the Abruzzi and miss. He's going to get killed by somebody before my shells get there, I think. And my shells miss anyway, so I mean, whatever. I will say I've made one change to my commander inspirations. I used to have Azerlane, New Jersey, and maybe Cunningham, and all right, maybe I've made 2 changes. Now I think I'm using A.L. Scharnhorst and Angelo Iacchino, so just bear that out at the end of the match when we get into the commander screen. The Amagi, like the Nagato, like many of the Japanese ships, is meant to be played at range, and I tried to do that. However, in a domination match, you can't really do that, and I would have liked to have a different match to show you with more long-range gunnery, but that just was not in the cards in about 10 to 15 matches I played in the Amagi. So it just didn't happen, and I'm sorry, but I did want a review, and this game was good enough trademark to be part of a review. So here we're going to try to drop some shells in on Francesco Caracciolo if he would ever so nicely stick his bow out for me to shoot at. He does. I lead him by way too much. And as you can see, good grouping at this range, but a lot of those shells did not do what I wanted them to do. Meanwhile, return fire, we don't take a lot of damage there. So that's good. And the Caragiolo gets taken out. But again, the Alpha Cap, I think I mentioned Charlie earlier. The Alpha Cap is all red. That's no good. And so we're moving away. You are a Battlecruiser. You are very quick. So kiting, especially with this turret arrangement, you can see center of the ship. You have 2 turrets in front, 3 turrets to the rear. Do not be afraid to kite away in a Japanese battleship with a rear turret bias. That's essentially why it was built that way, for you to be able to kite away, which makes up for your lack of armor. Instead, you have speed and the ability to shoot while you're running away. So that's how I recommend you play these ships under ideal circumstances. Okay, we got a Kansas out there. I already know the Kansas can send me straight to hell with a full salvo if it's being aimed correctly. We're going to aim up because we're not at a good angle. There you can see we do get some good hits. 5 shatters. So again, really nice accuracy at this range. Armor of the enemy didn't cooperate with us, and that's fine. I didn't expect it to at that angle. And I'm just trying to stay out of sight until the moment where my reload is ready to shoot, because like I said, the Kansas can evaporate these lightly armored Japanese ships. Don't ask me how I know. That may have happened this weekend. I don't have PTSD or anything as a result. All right, Kansas kind of turning away a little bit, and that's not great. He's going to run into the island here, I think, to stop himself. We will lead him a little bit. My front 2 turrets hit the island, and my salvo ends in the back half of the ship. I really didn't want that to happen. I didn't think he was going that fast. Now he's going to turn away into the island, which means we really don't have a lot to shoot at. However, we do get smashed off screen there and take a couple of boxes of damage. And so let's engage our first damage control party. And we're going to light him up here. And we get our first kill. Yes, sir. All right, Sen Yang over there. Deep water torpedoes, something to know and remember about. Flandre. I mean, these are all terrifying ships for a ship like the Amagi to think about. The Flandre can definitely end my night. And deep water torpedoes aren't fun either, folks. All right, we are going to aim at Flandre and put out a full salvo and pretty much chop the top off the island. I see an Iowa over here. Finally, a ship I'm not scared of. We are going to turn hard a port and get those turrets turned around as quickly as we can. Hopefully, the Flandre is not ready to shoot until we've completed our turn. Sen Yang takes out one of our teammates. Iowa all lined up. Here is a full salvo. We're waiting on the reload. And we take a little bit of damage there. Watch our return salvo, folks. Boom. 2 hits to Citadel, 4 pens. Kill number 2. So in the right opportunity, the guns can be very accurate with the accuracy build. So that's something to consider. Again, that was ideal. Iowa, not a particularly well-armored battleship in my opinion, giving us a full broadside. And yeah, we messed him up. So you can do that in this ship. You got to look for those broadside targets and take advantage when you can. Unlike the Caragiolo, where we didn't aim so well, or the Kansas, where we didn't aim so well. So maybe with better aim, we'd be talking 100,000 damage right now, maybe 3 kills. Who knows? We're firing in the mist at the Flandre. We're hiding behind this island here, trying to cap out Charlie Cap, because it is a domination match. As you can see, 4 hits to, or 4 overpens, pardon me. So maybe that's a case of where he was too broadside, or maybe I hit a very lightly armored part of the ship, like the bow, and it just went through and didn't do a lot of damage at all. I think we got almost less than 3k damage from that salvo. So we'll stick the nose out here. This is always really iffy. There's the flandre. Again, mostly broadside. We're going to aim up. Maybe we can get a little bit better damage stats. There I guess we were shooting HE. Oh, because I was waiting for the destroyer. So we did do some damage there. Some pretty good damage. We did set him on fire, but we're not ticking. We take a little bit of return fire there. Got our secondary shooting at the Sen Yang. And he's going to come motoring in here, and this seems to be a mistake. Full salvo on the Sen Yang, but it's armor piercing, because at that point I was thinking I was going to be doing battle with the flandre. None of those things happened, and we're going to leave that kill on the plate as we use our speed to get around the island. I'm not willing to hang out in his torpedo range in order to get another kill, and our teammate picks that one up. All right, resetting the match. It's 2 versus 3. We got 95,000 and change. Baltimore behind the island there. We got about half health. We are on fire. We're radared. And we got a couple of heals left. All right. Congress sticking its nose out. Can we skip the shells over the island? No. We do clip the tail of the Congress, but I was hoping for a breadbasket shot. I think if we could have caught him broadside there, maybe if we had gone forward a little bit sooner, that could have been a really big hull smash to the Congress. So again, maybe a little tentative play there on my part that could have been offset. But again, we're here at a land the Amagi doesn't want to be in, which is at relatively close range to the enemy ships. All right, front 2 turrets at the Baltimore. Rear getting splashed by the Congress. Turning to get the rear turrets on target. Again, there's a Confederate medal. Some more overpens, so that is not great. Maybe HE would have had a better result there. Maybe I should have been firing HE the entire time. I just don't know. We are well over 100,000 damage now. Return fire from the Baltimore. I mean, it sets me on fire again. Trying to get these shells on target before we can get around the island. And I don't think we're going to do that. Although we do hit him. Third fire is put out automatically. And now it's 1-on-3. We have no points. We are just trying to get someone to show us their broadside. And there's the flandre, the ship I didn't want to see. And we take it up the tailpipe there for, a pretty good chunk of damage. We still do have a heal left. Here's where the HE would be really helpful. Rear couple of turrets at the flandre. We really don't do any damage. Only 1 shell hits. Here we're going to turn and try to get these rear turrets around. We get hit by more HE. Baltimore hits us with some armor piercing. Flandre hits us with some armor piercing. We just can't stand up to that, folks. And that is the end of the battle. So I could have made some better shots in there. Definitely more ideal to play the Amagi at range. Anyway, we end up with the Confederate medal, 133,082 total damage, 69 main battery hits, 2 kills, 2 hits to Citadel, and a solo base cap. We ended up with 305,340 silver, 2793 ship XP, 3040 commander XP in the Amagi. And there we are at the top of the board. 1 medal, 2 kills, 1825 base XP. I think the potential might be there to have a better game in this ship. If you get maybe some better RNG, or you get maybe better profiles of ships to shoot at. That being said, I did swap in the survivability commander after this match. So all that talk about commander inspirations. In the game, I'm like, hey, wait a minute. Didn't I put the concealment commander in here? I did. So I'm now running a concealment build Amagi. If I get a better game in that, I will bring that to you on the channel. All right, here in the port, aiming system mod 1, damage control system mod 2, concealment system mod 1, and AAA guns mod 3. The Amagi is fully upgraded. Taking a look at the loadout, 3 charges of the repair party and 4 charges of the spotter plane. We were running the Epic Battle Booster for main battery range and movement speed. Got the Type 9 permanent camouflage and the Teeter Strong flag. Spec 62,300 hit points and a 43% torpedo damage reduction with our build. We got those 5 twin 410mm turrets, 19.9 kilometer firing range, 30-second reload, 34.6 second turn time. HE shells 6,500 damage with a 30% fire chance. AP shells 12,600 max damage. 2 sets of secondaries. The range is 5.2 kilometers. The first set of 8x2s reloads every 6 seconds, 2,100 HE shell max damage, 8% fire chance. Second set of 16 140mm guns reloads every 8 seconds. HE shells do 2,400 max damage with a 10% fire chance. That being said, I guess you could run a secondary build. I don't really see the benefit there. I don't. You don't have the armor to do that. AA defense, this is not shabby, although it's all very short range. Your first set of secondaries is dual purpose, does count as AA. Your best AA does 150 damage per second and reaches out to 3.1 kilometers. So basically just around your ship. All right, max speed 30.9 knots, 870 meter turning circle, 19-second rudder shift time. Concealment 13.4 on the surface, 12.6 from the, 11.2 from the air. I don't know where I got 12.6 from. 15.1 when firing in smoke. Well, I do remember. I was thinking how my Yamato concealment build is much more concealable than this ship. All right, we do have a winning win percentage in the ship. Kill death ratio just under 1. Our best game had 3 kills and 133,000 damage. And our base XP best game was 2401. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't have a synergy with these Japanese ships. It is not in my nature to stay at range and snipe. All right, here in the armor view, there's some things that I like and don't like. I do like that the turret faces are sloped and heavily armored. I don't like the rest of the turret armor profile. Here is your Citadel underwater. Here is this kind of a turtleback. I guess so, maybe. But again, turrets and barbettes, aside from the turret faces, this is a horrible turret armor profile at this tier, in my opinion. All right, you can see you've got this armor belt that's on the stern of the ship, almost all the way to the back. That's just super odd to me. And I think I thought it was the bow here for a while. I just keep looking at it going, what is this armor belt doing? Here's the bow. There's no armor that's special on the bow. But the stern has that rear profile. So again, when you're running away, when you're doing this kiting away stuff, that's what that's for, to protect your ship. All right, so use that when you're getting away. Here you can see the whole armor belt, not in the front of the ship, but in the rear of the ship. So again, when you're kiting away, you do have an armor belt on the side that goes up to, I think it's a 256. Torpedo side plating, this may act as some sort of spaced armor here. Again, very odd looking, but that is the armor profile here of the Amagi. Whether that torpedo belt acts as space armor, I don't know. But that being said, this ship's armor profile, it's built to run away. And here I think I'm just realizing, I was talking about the rear of the ship like it's the front of the ship. At the end of the day, this is not an imposing armor profile. You shouldn't think it is. You should want to play at range to maximize the armor that you do have. And by kiting away and using those 3 rear turrets, you're going to make the most of the armor profile, no matter if you understand it or not, or if, like me, you've been looking at it like a hog at a wristwatch for the last 25 minutes. All right, again, it's an armor belt. It's not going to stop a lot of the shells that you're getting shot at you. And again, this torpedo side plate, a small amount of spaced armor. So, for example, when we bounced those shells from Francesco Caracciolo, where they didn't do a lot of damage, that might have been why. All right, here's the commander for the build. As you can see, Scharnhorst and Iachino. I didn't think they were on this ship for this match, but they were. And that's who I recommend now for this commander. Standard range build, including fight fire with fire. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button. I'll have more uninspiring Japanese ship videos the rest of the week. Thanks for watching.